hailed on 16 to go and assist the yacht that ran aground. Big wave, big wave. Yeah, looking forward to getting in and getting the anchor down. A bit spicy. Oh. Well, our first morning on the Isle of Wight, and luckily we've run out of gas. Luckily, because we're just about to cross to France, and if we can cross with a full armoury of propane rather than trying to get it filled in France, that's helpful. Unhelpful because it's happened just before coffee. It's back to front on gas, isn't it? To screw it in, it's lefty tighty. There you go. Oh yeah.
So nice to be feeling like day sailing and surrounded by billions of sailboats. Look at that! They're all out, full sails out. It's so fun. I love it.
And you, do you have full sails out?
Yes, I have full sails out.
And what else?
We are beating into 12 knots of wind. Yeah, it's just like super nice. Boats like not overpowered at all, super stable. Going up the passage between the Isle of Wight and Portsmouth. Just going along the Isle of Wight, going to find a new anchorage. Yeah, just living life. Super nice.
Super satisfying to sail off the anchor this morning. No engine required and no fiddling with the water pump. Even better. So yeah, but not more than 15 miles of distance, but maybe 20 miles of sailing once we've worked our way to windward. And we'll be in a well sheltered anchorage for a 25 knot blow tomorrow. Just got hailed on 16 to go and assist the yacht that ran aground on some shallow water in here, but they managed to get off by the time we'd.
It's all mud here as well, thankfully. Okay.
Yeah, super soft on the keel. All good though. After successfully sailing off the anchor that morning, we fancied our chances at dropping the anchor under sail in the next anchorage, Osborne Bay. We had a good look on the chart plotter to analyse the depths and chose a wide spot between boats already lying at anchor. Coming in hot under full sail, we slowed the boat down by furling the Genoa and then made sure the anchor was ready to drop at a moment's notice. Once well positioned, we just turn up into the wind and stop the boat almost entirely, drop the anchor and try and flake chain out, and then use a scandalised main as a brake almost and try and reverse Mali downwind. This helps to lay the chain in a straight-ish line and set the hook. Feeling very cheesed with ourselves.
Huh?
That was flipping awesome. Not a single ounce of diesel. I've done like 20 miles. First first dinghy sesh in the UK after Norway, and it's been a good session to fill up the fridge. Lots of mackerel, and Solene even caught a horse mackerel. Funky looking thing. These big wing-like pectoral fins. Actually not a mackerel. A member of the trevally family. Pretty cool. Just taking the fillets off and then removing the belly bones with a soft fillet knife. And then these you can use as baits off the back of the boat when the night comes in. Maybe get a bass or a flounder. So we use as much of the fish as we can. Oh, look at that! That's pretty cool. A fresh sprat. I love this anchorage. It's so good.
Yeah, it's calmer, less passage, less traffic.
Yeah. And it's less exposed as well, so it's like...
Yeah, it's flatter.
Even when it's just the boats going past that make it roll, but otherwise it's a nice offshore wind, so we're lying flat. Mally can rest again. That's the Queen Mary 2, and it's actually the second time this summer we have been within a mile of each other, Mally and the Queen Mary 2, which is quite funny considering what it costs to cruise around on a ship like that. Yeah, we saw her with our pals in fjord in Norway on the way to Andalsnes. I wonder if the skipper recognises us.
Arrived at the beach and there's basically signs everywhere. Private beach, no landing, because it's the Queen Victoria's beach, where it's part of a castle you can visit, and I think the entrance is you have to pay, and it's a private beach, so you're not allowed to land on it. So we went along the shore and tried to find somewhere else, and basically you have these like signs everywhere. In the end, now the wind is picking up, and it's gonna pick up like until mid-afternoon, and it's like raining quite a lot, so we kind of changed our plans. I'm gonna work a bit on the computer as well after, just catch up on some jobs on the boats, and then hopefully when the winds die later on we can potentially go around the headland and go into Cowes. We'll see, time will tell, but yeah, now we kind of bounded to the boat.
After a day marching about Cowes and spending lots of money, we're prepped in our little mini rib alongside these big powerful machines, ready to blast back to the boat and go here. Well, the time has come to scrub Mally's hull. It's been a long summer of bobbing around warm fjords in Norway and above average sea temperatures down the coast of the UK, so we've managed to grow quite a decent beard on our hull, which certainly won't be doing any favours for our speed. So we've armed ourselves with a scrubbing brush So it'll be interesting to see once we're in the water how much algae there actually is, how much of an ecosystem we're currently hauling around these seas. We made our way into Newton Creek, a tiny little estuary just off the Solent that affords ample protection for both boats and nesting summer seabirds. One of the boats in the anchorage took advantage of his shallow draft and junk rig to navigate his way up the creek and in between all the boats. Solene and I were quite astonished really at the ease of handling this rig. Two big sails, fully canvassed, and this boat just flops through the wind with almost no adjustment. Really was a sight to behold, and quite an eye-opener in terms of sail handling. We spent lots of time ashore enjoying the reserve and the local wildlife in the summer heat. We stocked up the fridge with bramble berries and then chose a good weather window for our next destination. Well, it's the middle of August now, and we have just sailed past the Needles on the south coast of the Isle of Wight, which was pretty cool. Really hazy though, so we didn't stick the drone up for those cinematic shots, but still had a super cool passage down past them. Big wind, up to about 20 knots, and a favourable tide, so we've seen boat speeds of over 10 knots. And we're averaging 7, we're doing 8.1 knots just now, scooting along. So we're going to make landfall today in Dorset. Drop the anchor there. It looks like there's a cool place for us to hang out for a couple of days. And we've decided that it's time to replace our water pump on the engine. Our ongoing issues with the impeller and the priming of the pump can basically confirm that parts of the pump seals have gone. So anyway, we're going to replace that. We've spoken to Vitas, who are very kindly going to package one up for us. But we don't have a postal address, so we need to figure that one out. That's where we're at though, bumbling along, making our way to the launch point for the channel really. Solene's having a fun time on the helm.
We gust 22 knots.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to jibe without meaning to.
Okay, ready? Nice. good on it. Dump that main. Spicy entrance to Poole Harbour in Dorset in about 5-6 metres of water, big tide and 20 knots, big wave, big wave.
I know.
Yeah, looking forward to getting in and getting the anchor down. Bit spicy.
Getting in the entrance of Poole Harbour. Yeah, super shallow here. Got some wave, like massive wave in 5 meters of depth. So yeah, a bit too close to the bottom for us. And now with this motoring, there's 2 other boats going towards the harbour. So at least we don't feel like we're alone. There might be quite a lot of tide coming out of the entrance because it's quite a big bay. So it's a kind of natural harbour, and then the entrance is really tight and the tide is going down. So we'll see. Hopefully all good. Yeah, keep you updated. It's a bit wild out there.
Well, that's us with the anchor down now in Poole Harbour alongside a wee island. Happy to be at rest after that rather spicy entrance. Yeah, we only did about 20-22 miles today, but there were hard-earned miles round in the Needles off the south coast of the Isle of Wight. That was wild, really, really cool. And then rather unexpected tide turning as we came into the harbour. Probably had 5 knots of tide against us, good 4.8 at least. So I suppose it kind of felt like crossing a bar. See these crazy videos of folk crossing bars in America and
Breaking waves is
the north coast of France. That was a bit spicy. Probably the wildest seas we've had on Mali.
yeah.
Big pitch and bow coming right down and then getting blasted down the wave, but against the tide, so you weren't actually, you were doing like 0.9 knots against it. It was all good though. Mali looked after us.
Yeah.
We had the engine up about 2,200 revs, so we'll have plenty of hot water, that's for sure. And we're
Shower time.
yeah, berthed well, anchored up rather, after a wee mishap with Solene on the helm. Maybe chatting a wee bit too much, and we ran aground on a wee mud bank. Thankfully it was just like a boom, very slow stop, but it was easy enough to get off with the engine. But quite funny. All good.
Just scratching the bottom of the keel.
The keel needs a scrub anyway, so we were just doing her a favour.